Hey Jews, I just want to explain some things that I've been learning. And it's very interesting to see how it relates to all aspects of our reality, really. So we learn from the Torah that the reality is 5-dimensional. 3-dimensional is physical, 1-dimensional is spiritual, and 1 dimension is time. And what I want to talk about is a frame. Okay, miskeret, a frame. A container, if you will. And I want to look specifically at certain things. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the physical aspect of our reality on 2 different levels. Let's talk about man or woman, okay, person. You have a physical body, which is 3-dimensional, okay, in it, so that's your body, okay, and that is your soul, the spiritual element, and the time is the years of your life. Okay, but also we could break that down to the days of your life, to the seconds of your life, to the minutes of your life, all the times. Okay? And also, if you're a Jew, according to the Torah, also all the etim, all the festivals and holidays that you live in this reality, that you that you experience, okay, or that you were able to experience. All the Passovers that you had, all the Purims that you had, all the Shabbatot that you celebrated, okay, that's your time. So now let's look, and again, we're talking about frames or containers. What's the perfect purpose of a container or a frame? It's to limit you, okay? Because if without the frame, there's no end. It's uncontrolled, right? So the frame comes to put some parameters around you to contain you, okay? And when we talk about the physical body, we're not talking about the nervous system, okay, which is broken into 2 parts. You have your parasympathetic and you have your sympathetic. Okay, and I'm not going to go too much into that. I have another class called Break Your Heart, Israel, which I talk a little bit more about this because this is fight or flight. And this is rest and relax. Relax. And we're normally supposed to just be like 99% operating out of this, with this, at this level. Digesting our food properly, controlled emotions, reasonable responses to outside stimuli, harmonious relationships, peaceful existence, okay? But if we're unregulated, if our nervous system is unregulated and we're always in sympathetic fight or flight, then now we have problems. Now we have dis-ease. This is ease. And easy living. This is dis-ease, unharmonious world, inner world, a physical world. This is pain. This is not being able to digest. This is adrenal fatigue. This is unregulated emotions. This is anxiety. This is depression. This is all the other stuff, because you're only supposed to really use your sympathetic. You're only supposed to be in fight or flight for moments, so you could flee or fight an outside stimulus, right? The rest of the time we're supposed to be relaxed. So through the study of yoga, and specifically Iyengar yoga, okay, we know that like if our bodies need to have some sort of structure on the outside, our limbs, okay? So if we're very flexible in our joints and in our muscles and whatever, and the core part of us that is around the central nervous system, mainly in the spine, let's just say, okay? And we want to be regulated as close and strong in that area, okay? So that our nervous system can relax. So there's all sorts of techniques for that. And it's very interesting. The more you relax, the more you're able to regulate your nervous system, the more at ease you are. The more you're in parasympathetic nervous system control, whatever, you're sleeping better, okay? And we see also, for example, so that's just one example, but for example, weighted blankets. Why do weighted blankets help? Because they give you a container. You feel from the outside something is containing you, and that itself, okay, relaxes your nervous system. You see, it's the outside container. If you're unlimited, you're spiraling, okay? And then you're in your fight or flight. You're in flight for no reason. Actually, there's tons of reasons in our reality. Okay, so we're looking, this is the body, this is the soul, this is the years of your life, but this is also our world, let's just say the earth, okay? And the spiritual is a different dimension, the spiritual dimension of our reality, and the time is the time of this reality. Okay, so imagine now, for example, if you thought you were going to live forever, it would change how you live in this world, right? So if you think that time could just go on and 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 on forever, then maybe you think you're not that important when it comes down to it in the scheme of things. You're just a blip on an endless map of time. You're just a blip. You're not really that important. But we do know from the Torah that there's an end date. It's the 6,000 basically, and we're at 5,784. Okay, so we know the end date of the time. The spiritual, we're given information about that in our guidebook, the Torah, and we're told also that the earth is contained. It is contained by a firmament. Okay, so again, if we have unlimited choices, let's just say, it can lead to chaos because there's too much freedom. Do you see also if we're looking at, okay, so the nation of Israel became a nation because we accepted the Torah, and we said we would learn the Torah, and we said that we would fulfill the Torah, and the Torah contains 613 mitzvot, and it's full of things to do and things not to do, and that's our framework for living in this reality. And it will be good for us physically, it will be good for us spiritually, and it will be good for us for the years of our lives, and overall for the nation of Israel in the reality, the time of the reality. Okay, so it is not restricting you to hurt you, not restricting you to, so you don't get to enjoy endless possibility, but for a good reason. Because also at the end of this time, we know that there's something else, Olam Haba, the eternal world, okay, that doesn't have this and doesn't have this and only has this. It's spiritual reality that we're going to go to. Okay, so just like things can help regulate you physically by putting them in some sort of container or understanding them in order to give them structure and an endpoint, a strong, if you are able to build, for example, I'm going back to Iyengar Yoga, with props and with whatever, that you have a solid end point to your limbs, a strong, when you're doing the postures, then you have your nervous system in those postures will relax, and that's the whole point. Okay, so it's not about how impressive your back bend is or how flexible you are, not at all. It's about really regulating your nervous system. And how do you do that? You set up a strong structure, a strong container, using your limbs and using your body so that internally and especially for your nervous system can relax. Okay, you're giving it a container, you're giving it a weighted blanket, you're swaddling your body basically to give it some sort of endpoint. so it can relax. And so too with the Torah, especially for spiritually, but also for physically, okay? So this framework where it says eat kosher and gives us all the laws of kashrut, it's to give this container to you so you will live in this reality at ease. Okay? And same with all the other things for Shabbat. Shabbat is containing this time and this time and this time, putting it all together in a nice container on the seventh day when you rest and calm your nervous system by being inside this container. And there's all sorts of rules for that, for a purpose. Okay, so if you don't have something to anchor yourself to, let's just say in reality, okay, no objective truth. Okay, I'm going to say it this way. If the objective truth is like an anchor throughout time, okay, never changes, like the Torah, okay, which is objective truth. If you're anchored to that, you're not going to be spinning out of control with the endless possibilities, which are the lies of this world. Because this world, as we're told in the truth, the book of the truth, the Torah, this world is a world of lies. Okay, and how many lies are there? Endless number of possible lies. Endless number of possible possibilities, right? That can lead you spiraling out of control down to chaos. Right? There's endless possibilities, okay? Whereas in objective truth, if you anchor yourself to it, you are contained now within a container of the objective truth. It is your anchor to reality. It's not going to let you go spiraling out of control with endless possibilities of endless options. You are either a man or a woman. And there's certain rules about that, okay? You now know who you can marry. If you're a Kohen, for example, there's certain people, certain women that you can marry within this container, okay? And you shouldn't go outside that container. Learn about it. If, what are you looking for in your spouse? Endless possibilities of random things can never settle down because the possibilities are so great and so endless. You don't even date. Let's just say you're a Jew. Okay, so let's just put that inside the miskeret, the container. If you're a Jew, you should marry a Jew, and you should not marry a non-Jew, okay? Because that's in the container. A Jew should marry a Jew. Okay, so that eliminates a lot of endless possibilities. Okay, so now you're focused to just a Jew. Now, what do you look for? Certain other things. Okay, certain other things. Certain things that are important, depending on what's important to you. Okay, so for example, if you have endless choices of gender, then you see there are endless choices. They're just endless choices. It's not healthy. That's obviously not healthy. It's not healthy what we're seeing in our world because there's no container here. Okay? The Torah provides for us a framework, a container, so you can anchor to it. So when you start getting thrown around with life, if you're not just focused on that, it could go anywhere. Could go anywhere. What's right? What's wrong? What's accepted? What's not accepted? What's good for you? What's not good for you? Why are we unhealthy? Why are we... all this stuff, because you need a container. You need that. We need that. Just makes sense. And it's for our good. So, also, for example, honestly, can't remember what I was going to say, so... yes. Chofshi be'artzenu. We want to be a free nation in Israel, the state of Israel. And I have many other videos about the state of Israel. Okay, we want to be a nation, the nation of Israel, okay, the holy nation of Israel. God gave us the Torah, okay, which has limits, which is very structured, okay? All the things to do and all the things not to do, all the laws, all the hukim and all the mishpatim, all the laws and all the things that we're supposed to do and not do, okay, seems to us to be maybe quite rigid, but really it's just an anchor, unchanging over time, okay? Doesn't change because it's the objective reality. And if we anchor ourselves to it, we're going to be okay in the years and the days of our lives, okay? And as a nation over time. And we know at the end of time, we're going to be redeemed. God is going to redeem us from this chaos. Okay, God is going to redeem us, and we are going to have Olam Haba, the spiritual reality, when this reality ends. We're here, 5,784. Okay, and that's always how it's been. And so we've come back to live in the state of Israel, in the Holy Land of Israel. Am Hofshi, a free nation in our land. We don't want these laws. We do not want this container. We have chosen chaos. Do you understand what I'm saying? Am Hofshi, that's in the national anthem, okay, of the state of Israel. Hatikva, Liyot Am Hofshi be'artzenu, to be a free nation. Free of what? Free of the yoke of the Torah. Free of the laws of God, free of this container, free of this anchor of objective truth and objective whatever that has kept our nation from spiraling out of control throughout history. And we know also, like I said, that we're at the end of time. This time element in our reality is going to end. Okay, it's contained. The reality is contained within a certain thing, and when it ends, something else happens. Okay, so the Torah is an integral part of the Jewish reality, of the Jewish existence, of your Jewish life. If you don't have the Torah, you don't know the Torah, you are maybe feeling some dis-ease in your life, this way, that way, or in the next way. And it's all just to wake you up to the fact that there is an objective truth, an objective reality, and a framework within which you, as a Jew, it is good for you to live in. Okay? And so to be Chofshi, a free nation that's come into the land with no miskeret, chaos.